Hello, everyone. Welcome back to our Grade 11 Statistics and Probability series. Today, we're going to talk about one of the most important concepts in this unit, random variables. By the end of this lesson, you'll be able to illustrate a random variable, distinguish between a discrete and a continuous random variable, and find the possible values of a random variable. Before we start, let's have a quick review. In our previous lessons, we learned about experiments, sample spaces, and events. A random experiment is any process that produces results which we cannot predict with certainty. For example, when you toss a coin, you don't know if it will land on heads or tails. That's why it's called random. Now, let's see how numbers come into play with these outcomes. So what is a random variable? A random variable is a rule that assigns a numerical value to each outcome of a random experiment. In simple terms, it's a way of giving numbers to random outcomes. For example, if we toss a coin, we can assign the value 1 to heads and 0 to tails. We can say, let x be the random variable representing the result of tossing a coin. Then, the possible values of x are 0 and 1. Now that we know what a random variable is, let's talk about the two types, discrete and continuous. A discrete random variable can take on a countable number of possible values. Usually, these values are whole numbers. Examples include the number of heads when flipping 3 coins, the number of students who pass an exam, or the number of cars passing through a checkpoint in 1 hour. Each of these can be counted, so we call them discrete random variables. A continuous random variable, on the other hand, can take on any value within a given range. That means its possible values are not countable. For example, the height of students in your class, the time it takes to finish a race, or the temperature in your city today. These can include decimals or fractions, like 1.75 meters or 9.6 seconds. That's why they're called continuous random variables. All right, let's practice. I'll give a situation, and you decide if the random variable is discrete or continuous. Number 1, the number of books you own. That's discrete because you can count them. Number 2, the amount of rain that falls in a day. That's continuous, since it can take on any value, even decimals. Number 3, the number of students absent today. That's discrete because you count whole people, not fractions. Number 4, the weight of a newborn baby. That's continuous because it can have decimal values. Number 5, the number of text messages you send in one day. That's discrete because you can count each message. Great job so far. Next, let's discuss how to find the possible values of a random variable. Here's the process. Step 1, list all the possible outcomes of the experiment. Step 2, assign a numerical value to each outcome based on your random variable. Let's try an example. Suppose we toss a coin twice. The sample space is H, H, HT, TH, and TT. Let x be the random variable representing the number of heads. For TT, the number of heads is 0. For HT and TH, the number of heads is 1. And for h, the number of heads is 2. So the possible values of x are 0, 1, and 2. Let's have another example. Suppose we roll a single die. Let y be the random variable representing the number that appears on top. The sample space is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Therefore, the possible values of y are also 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. That's it. Simple and straightforward. Let's summarize what we learned today. A random variable assigns numbers to outcomes of a random experiment. It can be discrete if its values are countable, like the number of students or number of heads in a coin toss. Or it can be continuous if its values are measurable, like height, weight, or time. To find the possible values of a random variable, list all outcomes and assign numbers to each one based on what the variable represents. And that's it for today's lesson on random variables. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to click like, share it with your classmates, and subscribe for more grade 11 math tutorials. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next lesson.